Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, gonna be a Patreon game by somebody who supports me at patreon.com/FalconPaladin for at least $10 a month, which gives them the right to send me any replay once a month, no questions asked, and I will cast it. So in the bottom left of Eternal Empire, we have a red Terran player. It is HyperONE. And in the top right, it is a blue Zerg player, Mago. Mago, possibly. We're gonna go with Mago, because it sounds like mage. And mayonnaise. Mayo? I like mayo. Some people hate it. I don't know. I'm cool with it, but I understand because there's foods that I don't like that a lot of people do like, so. In all fairness, I get it. Ka-chunk. Mago going for the 17 hatch play, so perhaps not entirely up to date on what the current meta is. That's fine. HyperONE got his gas coming, got his barracks on the way, looks very much like a Reaper opening at the very least. SCV moving across for some shenanigans, or probably just for a scout. Probably just trying to see if this is a hatch first play or not, because everyone gets 12 pulled sometimes. Oh, what is this drone doing? This drone took a quick vacation out here and then went back to work. So 17 hatch. 20 pool? Question mark? Yeah, question mark. I said it. See, now you're oversaturated, and then the gas at like 20 supply or 21 supply. This doesn't make any sense. 16, 18, 17, folks. Whoa! Everyone came off the line to deal with that SCV, which is a waste of mining time. Don't bother with it. Just wait till the lings are out and kill the SCV that way. Totally not worth. Is there a Reaper? Did we made a Reaper? Oh, there's a Reaper on the way. Okay. Did he actually might have delayed Reaper a tiny bit? Or maybe he just forgot it. That's entirely possible too. Is there an SCV here? No, the SCV died. Something keeps looking red to me on the minimap. Alright, so this Reaper's name is Vin Diesel's character from Fast and Furious. Checks notes. Dominic Toretto told everyone he came across that random thing. Told everyone he came across that, random thing is not as strong as family. So insert random thing here. He was arrested for making forced memes to market Fast and Furious 9000. Turns out that the Minion prison to Reaper program system was stronger than family. Yeah, that was not. If you were on Reddit earlier this month, you might have noticed an interesting weird flood of Dominic Toretto saying family in what I hesitate to call memes because they weren't really funny. Anyway, Dominic here's got all of 2 kills. Might get a third if he's lucky. Pretty good control here. Yeah, it's one of the few times I've really felt strongly that there was kind of an astroturfing thing going on, where there was corporate influence trying to make it seem like there was some natural growing memes coming out, but nope. It was a bad meme, and it went away very fast, and I'm glad. I'm glad it's not still sticking around. Alright, Zerg player, third base timings at 3:30, which is not horrendous. He's got 36 workers, and he held off a Reaper attack pretty effectively, so I'm not going to say no to this. Roach Warren coming in, I like that too. Just a safety Roach Warren. Lair timing's a bit early. Getting that up before your third base is definitely an interesting choice. Also, the injects seem a little bit late here too. So overall, it does kind of feel like we're working on some things here from Mago. He could use a little bit of coaching. He's not going to get that coaching in this replay because that's not how replays work. Unfortunately for him. And maybe unfortunately for us. So what's the plan, Zerg player? Let's see. Double evolution chambers. Got a Roach Horn there. Getting his extra gas now. Excellent. I like to see that. More drones at the same time. So yeah, his macro's good. I'm not going to complain about the macro at all. I could probably send some drones up here to take this gas and saturate it. I'm not sure why he's leaving this one open. It seems like an interesting choice. But making some roaches. Not going crazy with roaches is cool. But you know what? What's interesting is you could win this game with about 5 roaches, because there's 1 tank that just came out and a couple of Hellions. So if you showed up, maybe 3 Ravagers would be more effective, but you bring something to burn down the tank with the 3 Ravagers, then everything else dies. So this is one of those times where Zerg maybe defend isn't the way to go. Because sometimes the Terran player just doesn't have anything. And sometimes you just go kill him. Which is a lesson I learned from Day 9 back when he used to talk about StarCraft and he used to watch the dailies. Is he said sometimes if your opponent's doing something weird and they don't really have what they need to defend against your attack, just go kill them. Which I think this applies. I really do. I mean, we've got, what? 14 roaches. You make 5 of them Ravagers. You get Overlord speed. You bring an Overlord over here. You burn down this tank. And then these Hellions do what against all of your roaches and Ravagers? Nothing. They do nothing. There's blue flame coming in. Nice. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to the roaches and Ravagers. So this might be a situation where there was a window in which one player could easily die. But because the other player doesn't have perfect vision, obviously, and isn't scouting, you know, almost at all. Overlord perching spot is nice. But yeah, you see the Hellions and go, well, the Hellions are bad against roaches. I'm kind of surprised he's not going for it. I mean, he'd take some crazy tank fire. He might, again, have to move the Overlord over here to kind of spot the high ground and try to make that work. But HyperONE is meching, which you can get away with, especially in the lower levels of StarCraft 2. You make a ton of Thors, you make a ton of, well, I guess maybe Vikings, but Hellions and tanks and stuff. You just kind of move across the map, and the Zerg can't really do much against it without spellcasters, without some insanely good macro. I like this. 4th base for Mago here is just fantastic. He's got a Hydralisk Den on the way. Lurkers can be very good against a meching Terran. Can be, I say. Not all the time good. Reaper leading the way. Dominic Toretto in the house. Not going to shoot at anything there, but maybe, yeah, it's going to help kill a couple drones. Bad time to transfer there. But, oh, okay. So all of these Hellions are dead because they're blue flame Hellioning their way into death. Oh, maybe they could have survived, but nope. Now they're going into their deaths here. How many drones are they going to kill? Well, we're down to 50. 50 drones. So, okay, 19. 19 drones died. Pretty good. Honestly, pretty good Hellion attack. All the Hellions died, which is not ideal, but you kept the Terran home. You made him afraid for future attacks. He's just sitting here now. So, pro tip for Zerg players out there. If you're going to make 56 supply of roaches at 7 minutes, go. You have to go. You have to go. This is too much. This is too much for base defense. This is way too much for base defense. You have to go with them. Make a bunch of Ravagers. Maybe make all of them Ravagers. And come kill this stuff. Tanks are sieging up. It's fine. You can do it. Alright. So Mago, unfortunately, really struggling here. He's got 62 workers. He's replacing his drones kind of expertly, to be honest. He's got 11 drones at a time being made. He's sitting on 1,600 minerals and 1,400 gas, which he could use to max out on roaches and Ravagers right now, if he wanted. I mean, not right now, but he's got enough income to do it over time in a pretty quick amount of time. Honestly, he could be maxed out at 9 minutes at this point. See, remember when there were blue flame Hellions on the map? They're still around. There's more of them. Oh my gosh. Okay. Remember when he was making 11 drones? I remember when he was making 11 drones. It was nice. They're all dead now. He still has more workers than the Terran does, though. So, hey, victories. You can't just have roaches, dude. Ravager. The Ravager is a good unit that was introduced in Legacy of the Void, and it's good. Legacy of the Void came out 6 years ago now, okay? My gosh, is it really 6 years old? We're so old. All of us. We are old now. Yeah, it was November 2015. I remember being so stoked for Legacy of the Void, and that's when I started really, you know, trying to find new replays to cast for StarCraft 2, and I had people send me their Legacy of the Void replays, and seeing things like Adepts and Disruptors was so cool. Oh, it was so fun. Good times. Good memories back then. I'm making 9 missile turrets. This is feeling a little turtley out of HyperONE. That said, he's just landing a base over here completely undefended, so that's not a turtley thing to do. That is a please come kill my base kind of a thing to do. So Roach Hydra. Okay, so we're making Hydras at least. Mass Roach is just going to get obliterated by this Terran army, no big deal. But Roach Hydra, A little better. A little better. Not a lot better, but definitely a little better. Man, this is a lot of hiders. Okay, so we're maxed out. We're maxed out in 9 minutes. Like I said, 9:55. Maxed out with 24 roaches and 23 hydras. Excellent. Muy excelente. Thor's coming in, just adding to the mech here. Liberator's on the way here too. Two upgrades for the mech in production. We've got a Spire and an Infestation Pit for Mago. Loving that stuff. I am. And Hive timing at 10 minutes. All right, good. Good. Okay, so Lurker Den coming in a little bit later than I would have liked to see it. But I do think Lurkers can be very good in the situation as long as they're not just getting shelled from afar by siege tanks, which they can easily find themselves in that position. Roaches decide to move out on their own. Wait, no, hang on. The Hydras are coming behind them. I can see them on the minimap. Hellions just running into the meat grinder that roaches are against them. Hellions are fast, and they're great against things like Zerglings and drones. They are so bad against pretty much everything else. They're not bad against Hydras, actually, if they're in numbers. Alright, so this low ground base here, lift it. There you go, lifting it. But there's Hydras, which mean it's gonna die. Alright. Don't come up the ramp. Don't come up. Okay, didn't come up the ramp. Cancel the base. Doesn't know about this, though. Vision's important. Oh, this Liberator's been up here killing stuff. I was wondering what was up here. 13 kills. And killing larva, which is pretty good, too. Ooh, we're making some swarm hosts. Not accidental swarm host either. This is 5. This is intentionally making 5 swarm hosts, which can be okay against mech. Not bad. I mean, Thor's shooting them down is a problem. Is he pulling SCVs here? He was thinking about it. I think he's accidentally selected his SCVs as part of this particular army and was moving them all together. Not ideal. Oh, look what we found. A little Overlord hideaway camp in the bottom right. Why are your Overlords all sitting in a corner utterly undefended? Mago! Mago. I can't zoom in because we're on the edge of the map and the zoom rules are strange in StarCraft 2. Okay, so that's a severe... We're at 150 supply to 200. Whoa. Whoa, he just made a ton of Overlords. We're not supply blocked anymore, guys. Everything's fine. He's in the general area to come check this. Is he going to do it? Is he going to check it? He really wants these Vikings dead. He does avenge the deaths of all of his Overlords, which is cool. Here we go. Roach Hydra coming in. And this planetary... There you go. There's actually some army here to help. And Mago... kind of smartly. Okay, once those tanks siege, it's time to get out. And tanks siege, and yeah, gonna lose a few roaches in retreat there, but that's not too bad. And we're doing some swarm host locusty things. Not bad at all. I like it. These guys launching from all the way over there. Dang. Dang, that is too far away. You need to find a place that's closer, and maybe use a Nidus swarm. Maybe Nidus network your swarm hosts instead of having them out in the middle of the map. I think that'd be cool. Super cool, in fact. Adaptive Talons on the way for lurkers that don't exist yet, but we're getting the upgrades for them. Adrenal glands for the lings that don't exist either. See, this is honestly amazing here for Mago. Roach Hydra against this number of Thors is not bad. Attacking the tanks is not ideal, but the Thors are all dead. So just run, yeah, just run from the tanks. Don't even worry about it. Ow, 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 ow. No, wait! Keep coming up that ramp. Why would you come back around? Mago. Okay, so the tanks are going to die, but at a horrible, horrible cost. Did you just kill those SCVs first? So maybe the tanks aren't going... Oh, the tanks are going to die. But that was, in fact, a truly terrible trade for Mago. Really, really bad. Resources lost here are only 9,000 for Mago and 12,000 for HyperONE. So better make these Ravagers with the bajillion dollars you have and burn down this planetary. They're injured. Turning them into Ravagers immediately heals them up. I'm not convinced that Mago knows what Ravagers are, which is definitely a credit to HyperONE and his chances to win this game. But the fact that Mago has this much money in the bank, 7,000 minerals and 4,000 gas, and is not immediately remaxing on stuff when he loses his entire army is a concern of mine. I like how these guys just kind of live on the high ground here. Oh, trapped a Thor. Got him. Got him. Didn't get the other ones, though. That's too much. Too much Thor. Mago expanding here is not going to be that long-lived because HyperONE is making a beeline for it. A little distracted, you know, by this Overseer that he's also going to kill. Mago remaxing on Swarm Host. Okay, so, 14 Swarm Hosts are the answer today, you say. I am going to disagree. I don't think Swarm Hosts are the answer here today at all. But, you know, who am I to say? Who am I to say what's going to work at this level of game? Oh, you should have waited for your other, like, 15 Swarm Hosts to show up. Do you want the tanks, or do you want the Thors? Apparently the Thors. Alright, one Thor down. See, the tanks can't run away. It makes them a better... Oh, maybe he did launch some... Too far away. Too far away. But hiding from the scans is pretty good. So like I said about this base, short-lived. Short-lived base. HyperONE expanding bottom right. Exposed. Incredibly vulnerable. But when you're putting pressure on your opponent like this, it doesn't matter. See, the lurkers are here. Do they have the seismic spines upgrade? I think they do. They do. So he's got the range upgrade for the lurkers, but tanks outrange that. Because tank range is good. And always has been. And okay, this is a Swarm Host army. So Thors are dying real good, but Blue Flame Hellions roasting them up are pretty good too. Don't come over here, Thor! Oh, never. Okay, Thor not dead. Yeah, Blue Flame Hellions do bonus damage. Well, Hellions in general do bonus damage versus Locusts. When they're on the ground attacking you, Hellions are a good thing to have around in this situation. So it's good. HyperONE playing very smart. Very smart, adding those to his composition here. Remember what I said about lurkers are fine as long as they're not getting sieged from super long range by siege tanks? Well, behold! Behold, the past predictions have come true. This is so many Swarm Hosts. So I don't know that you actually need to bring in any Mutalisks for this at all. Alright. Yeah, this is, I will argue this is working out pretty darn well for HyperONE. The Mutas getting splash damage are not great. And several of them do die there, and HyperONE's like, I got a window before more Swarm Hosts, Locusts are going to pop. They're on a pretty long cooldown, as you can see down here. See how it's moving slowly up all the way to the top. That's when the cooldown's going to happen. HyperONE is walling off this bottom right area, sort of, with two command centers. It's not a wall so much as it's a suggestion to not come this way if you're a Zerg player. So we're going Ling Muta Swarm Host as a tech switch. The upgrades are in missile attacks. So, I mean, at least the Swarm Host benefit from the missile attack upgrade. The Lings and the Mutas do not at all, though. Working on tanks, working on... I'm noticing that personal cloaking. Oh my gosh, these Thors. Get them! I mean, the Locust not necessary here, but hey, extra DPS is never a bad thing. A lot of dead Zerglings. It is a lot of dead Zerglings here. Lurkers can outrange planetaries. Go! Go! Yes! Yes! Thors fighting them. Good splits on the Thors. Oh, beautifully microed there from HyperONE, and the lurkers all die. Alright. Nice. Well played. Well played there, HyperONE. He's got another base coming up on the left side. Working on nukes. 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 This is a pretty good game. Eternal Empire does give us pretty good games. I miss it. It was a good map. It didn't deserve to die. He's expanding here. HyperONE is just feeling... He's feeling it today. Oh, wait. What? You gotta... No! Where are you going? Misclick! Misclick! There's nothing over here. Oh, did he F... Oh, I bet he F2A moved over here, and all the locusts got caught in the F2. Oh, that sucks. That really, really sucks for Mago. He could have killed a couple of those Thors at least. Maybe taking down the planetary. But HyperONE's just like, you know what? Let's just go kill him. Let's double nuke his third and his natural and see how many drones we can kill. There are 72 drones right now. Now there are 40. Alright. Mago decides to kind of go for it. Planetary gets killed. The problem is that swarm hosts... Oh, slow banelings. That swarm hosts are a incredibly ineffectual unit for base racing. They take forever to pop their locust. They can't attack air. So, against a Terran player, it's not going to go particularly well. Down to 18 drones. I like that there are ghosts just kind of pinging away at stuff at different bases, and nothing's really telling them not to. Look, it's a ghost. Hey, the locusts have popped. It's locust season, everybody. SCV count still at 46, but dropping precipitously with this attack. Yeah, down to 32. Still, 32 is more than 11. This is not a huge mech army from HyperONE, but when there's literally nothing opposing you but some broodlings and overlords, you're going to do okay. Turns out, we did some studies on this. See, and Locust in base defense, not particularly good either. They killed a tank, a couple tanks there. 17 kills, 16 kills, 35 kills to each tank, and a 24 kills to each tank. Not bad. I mean, HyperONE's only at 100 supply. But if these... Oh, this is why Unitas network these guys. Because they get left in the open like this, and especially if they don't even have Burrow, which they don't even have Burrow, then suddenly... Oh, hang on. Hang on. Okay, defense working as planned. Thor's all dying. Nuke's killing a drone. 2 drones. Oh, some running past Zerglings. That was serendipitous. I think that's a word. Serendipitous. Siege tank with 49 kills. Gets taken down. So Mago needs to rebuild. He needs to just put something here. He's kind of just making paniclings right now, which is I don't think that's enough to win this game. HyperONE's got this base mining and this base mining. So he's got 32 workers. His income is just substantially better here. And most of Mago's army is in swarm hosts right now. He's got 15 swarm hosts and 46 lings, which lings are not particularly that good. I mean, they're not even killing these tanks that fast. They don't have the upgrades for it. Frankly, they have +1 attack, sure. They do have adrenal glands, which is nice. Stutter, stepping, tanks. You ever seen that? Yes. Mostly a Brood War thing, but also happens in StarCraft 2. Killing this would have been better than dying and not killing this. Get the guaranteed damage. So your tech structures are going to die, Mago. That's why I'm telling you to build a base here. Not for the resources, obviously, but you need these tech structures to live. He's also, instead of rebuilding his economy, he's panic building Lings and Banes. He's now starting up a few drones, but it's just, and these Banelings are not, they're not going to finish. Maybe they will. We don't have... Oh, we have a centrifugal hooks. Okay. Tanks, eat the Baneling hits. Ah, Siege Tank Commander dead. It was a sacrifice that was worth it. Orbital Command lifts, burning down. 3 Hellions are not bad, though. I mean, these Hellions are all going to die, except for the expiration date on those Locusts. Mago's up to 11, or 8. Wow, 11? 8 drones. How does he keep losing drones? HyperONE doesn't even have... HyperONE doesn't even really have an army. He's got 4 tanks, 4 Hellbats, and 5 Ghosts. And he's got 4 nukes ready to go. Because why not just have 4 nukes ready to go? Locust jumping on them tanks again. And everybody dies. Just everybody dies here. That is, no, yeah, that's it. Goodbye, all the Terran. We're double nuking this base in an attempt to make sure that it super dies. It doesn't super die because there's 50 HP on it, but the ghost will make sure it does super die in the end. I like when broodlings pop out and there's nothing for them to attack and they just kind of sit there and then explode. Beast base dies. Mineral income is nothing. Mago has 3,000 minerals and 7,000 gas, though. Mago. Hey, look, this planetary is going down to locusts. It's just too slow. It's just too slow. If you're in this crazy, weird base racy type scenario against a Terran, locusts are not good. This ghost has 18 kills. Lings keep running into this planetary and dying, or this planetary and dying. 11 kills on that one. So yeah, Mago, with all of your money, rebuild hatches everywhere, build a ton of drones, make stuff, make roaches, make hydras, make mutalisks in this stage. Mutalisks would be amazing at killing these planetaries. But your tech structures are dying. So yeah, Mago has some really interesting abilities with macro. He really does, and his Stormhost play is not bad. I'm not going to say it's terrible. But, man, this decision making towards the end of this game is just bad. Mago, buddy. I know you're getting nuked, and your cognitive abilities drop by about 30% when you're getting nuked. I have experienced this myself. I love this nuke for one drone. F you in particular. $30 HP. Mago really wants to kill this. Locust will show up every 41 seconds. Is that fast enough for you? Maybe. HyperONE losing a ton of SCVs in the meantime, though. I mean, keep going. There's nothing. I guess there's a planetary here they can hide, but there's only 2 mineral patches, both of them not super long for this world. And HyperONE, once again, has an army he's trying to base race with that's not really big enough to do that. He's also trying to nuke. Did he cancel that one? Is he trying to nuke? Like, he got it. Yeah, the ghost is gone. Wait. Nukes are fun. I will not tell you not to nuke. This base extra super mega lightning dead. Locusts going after Los Planetari. Some of the locusts are behind other ones and not firing. It is a problem every Zerg player has faced at some point. But Planetary down. The good news, HyperONE has this base. HyperONE has this base. Zerg player doesn't know about this one. Doesn't know about this base. Are you kidding me right now? I think the Hellions are hunting the Stormhost right now, which is smart. You can find them in this period where they're utterly useless to the Zerg army at all and kill them. You can win this game because this is the army right now. Alright, so the Locust pop. Get out of there. Just let them... Don't... Why are you fighting? Don't fight. I know you're trying... Okay, I guess it's working, but every Hellion that dies here is a problem. I guess keeping supply depots alive is not a bad thing. Alright, so now we're going to see a very strange sight, which is Hellions roasting up Stormhost, and that's your good game. HyperONE wins the game with a huge army of 5 ghosts, 18 Hellions. That's it. That is all he has as he celebratorily attacks these Stormhosts until they die. GG. Wow. That was a lot of nukes. That was a very weird strategy. Mago did his best with the Stormhosts. Couldn't quite pull it off in the end. End of the game with 2,700 minerals and 7,000 gas in his bank, which just hurts my soul as a Zerg player, but that's one way. That's one way to do it, I guess. And by that I mean it's not a way to do it. Boof. I think sticking with Roach Hydra and maybe Muta would have been a better idea. If there aren't a lot of tanks, then Roach Hydra is great. If they start making more tanks, the Mutas can kind of dive bomb them. We got to stay away from the Thors in that situation, though. But, man, 133 drones died for Mago. 94 SCVs died. And HyperONE actually ended up losing more resources than the Zerg, 54,000 to 46,000. That's interesting. It's a mech win against a Zerg player where the meching Terran lost more stuff. 29 tanks, 23 Thors, 2 command centers, 3 orbitals, 5 planetaries. That is so much stuff. 7 hatcheries, a lair, and a hive. Also so much stuff. The blood loss, the destruction, and the massacre in this game was definitely intense. But good game to HyperONE. Got those nukes off. Ended up winning the game with 18 Hellions with Blue Flame and 3/3 upgrades. What an interesting win condition that was. Not something you're going to see a lot. All right, good stuff. Well, that right there is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a Patreon game. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.
The path of ascension is